Hello, everybody. I think I'm live. Am I live? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm live. All right. I'm live. There. All right. All right. Thanks. 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 Well, I had a productive pre-market. Um, but I missed a really good trade answering my freaking phone in gold. I missed a really good trade. But I had a productive pre-market, man. I hit the ES off the prior day high right here. Right here. Shipping. And then then I hit a gold trade off the 5-minute red line for like 300 and some dollars. It was a short one because I had a short target. But what I missed in gold, well, I missed a couple things. So I don't know, because I don't have my account set up yet. I missed the cross the box trade. There it was. I mean, it's just like I teach it, just like I talk about it over and over and over and over again. Bing, back in, inside candle, wham, cross the box. That's like $1,400-$1,500. What the one I wanted was this one coming back for about $500. I missed that one because I was on the phone. Two beautiful setups in gold this morning. Absolutely gorgeous setups in gold. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Just beautiful setups. I mean, yeah. But I am up today, so I don't know how heavy I'm going to trade because I'm up $715. So, that's a nice morning. That's a nice morning. But we'll see. Hopefully the market shows more promise than it did yesterday. Yesterday it just got freaking lackadaisical or choppy or something. I think they were sitting around waiting for I think they kept sitting around waiting for news about the war. That's what I think was going on yesterday. Just sitting around waiting for news. But what do you guys think about that cross the box and freaking in gold? What do you guys think about that? I mean, come on, man. Jesus. Like I said, I think it was, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago when I hit 2 of them in a week. I'm like, I hit 2 of those in a week. And I added contracts as I went. I probably made somewhere around $7-8 grand in that week just off that trade. And, before I got caught in a quagmire of transferring my accounts. And, I just think those are wonderful trades when they set up. Absolutely gorgeous trades. They don't set up every day. But when they do, man, hold on. Hold on. Because you're about to make some money. Hold on, folks, because you're about to make some money. Beautiful trades. I bet in that 30-day period, and I wasn't aggressively trading it every time, but I easily made like 12 grand trading that trade in the prior 30 days. Today, I should have made on this trade right here, the way it worked. Let's see here. I would have had one in there, one in here, and one in there. probably would have been probably because of where the rotations and pivots were. Probably I would have made maybe $2,500 if I had my other account set up. Yeah, he's 100% true. By the way, I tell people that if you're going to trade the micros, that's fine, but you want your settings to be off the GC. You don't want it set off the micros because the market moves from the minis, not from the micros. The micros just flail along. And sometimes they overshoot, sometimes they undershoot. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. We are 10 minutes to our 15 minutes. Man, that ES trade I took today was a beauty. And then I got freaking nervous because NQ was running out of gas. That's why I tanked that trade before it hit my target. I had a bigger target for ES, but the NQ ran out of gas because it ran right into its prior day low. So I cut the trade. So I ended up with 437 when I was trying to get about 550. Trying to get about 550. Yeah. You got to remember the micros move because the minis are moving. But the precision points of rotation are from the minis, not the micros. I can't stress that enough. It's from the minis, not the micros. If you're looking for precision points of where your top of your box is, your bottom of your box is, your mid band of your box, your prior day open, your prior day close, all that shit is really derived off the minis, not the micros. So what you can do is just set up a separate data series below and then run your charts up above. Does that make sense? All right, let's see here. What do we got going on? So the NQ is about to come out of the top of the box, but the problem is it's going to do it right into the prior day open. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that if it does do it. Which interesting is currently the YM is going through the bottom of the box. The RTY is going through the bottom of their box. The ES is in the middle of its box. And here's the NQ trying to go through the top of the box. Come on, guys. I mean, literally the RTY and the YM are crashing through the bottom of their boxes right now. So you got a lot of conflict going on right here. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to chase anything out of the box. First off, this should not be chased out of the box because the prior day opens right there. That's you're just asking to get punched in the face. Then you add to it, the other two are not agreeing with you. I mean, I should say all three markets are not agreeing with you. Orville popped on here a few weeks ago and said something about he was gonna, he's gonna retire and all, and then so they offered him a promotion instead, so he wouldn't retire. And at the time, I don't think he had decided what he was going to do, but I haven't heard from him since. Yeah, David, you cannot take that right into a static line like that, man. You're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get punched in the face 9 times out of 10. Good job, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne, I banged out $715 this morning. I'm probably going to sit on my hands unless something like the YM punches me in the face and says, take this trade. Something like the YM, something I can be like, oh, okay. I might be adventurous and take another ES trade. A lot of people in this room have been making some good money on the ES lately. I know Thomas and Gene have been, and so's Jim, actually. So I decided to join the party today. I have the leader. I think I've got like 8.5 point one today. 1 8.5 pointer, I think. I'm the leader of the day for ES trade. So we got a freaking bad situation here with NQ because this is the prior day low and this is the prior day open, and they're so damn close. And look at how it came up, pierced the open, and then shot it straight down. God dang. So even if it rejects from the low up, you don't have much room. Yeah, but I agree, Wayne. But today, for example, it was when NQ did this move right here, was doing this move right here. The ES was coming right off its prior day open. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to take it. But because the NQ was leading the way, it ended up hitting the prior day low before I hit my target in the ES. So I closed the trade out because I got concerned that it was going to drag the ES with it. Well, the ES continued to follow through to what would have been my target. So, I mean, I got 437 instead of 550. So what? That's a pretty good trade for the ES. Actually, that's an excellent trade for the ES. I would put that one in the a triple out of you know, not quite a home run, but a triple. That's definitely a triple in the ES. Definitely a triple. The RTY is coming off of shoot, man. Let me see if I can pull this up. The RTY is rejecting off its prior day low right here. Damn it. But it's really not giving us any room. See how it came out and tested the bottom of the prior day low. It should roll down here. I just don't like that we're at the low doing it. But this is definitely something that would have been worth trying. God dang it. I was a little late seeing that. Let's see here. 43. Question is, now you're trading into space. So where does that space end? Could be right down here at 35. That's a previous day's low. Right at 35 is a previous day's low. So if you're in that trade, that might be a good place to get your target is 35. If you're in this trade right here. That would have been I saw it too late. I'm sorry, guys. I just glanced up and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, but ES has got to do something with that box. And I remember I told you guys I don't trade. Now this is me. Y'all do what you want. I don't care. I don't trade cross the box trades in the equities. What I do is I use the box's lines as static lines for crossover retests like this. And this fucker's going to go to 35. Look at that. It is. It's going to go to 35. See, the real trade was off the prior day low. We came out of it. This candle opened and closed completely below it. It came up, pierced it, then bam. And I'm thinking this is going to go down to about 35. There it goes. Just still going. God dang it. It's on a mission. It's on a mission. It's on a mission. The RTY is on a mission. Needs a little more energy. Come on. Collapse. Come on, RTY. Go. There you go. So let's just keep. So I looked over to my left and saw that yesterday, the prior day low from the day before was in the 35 range. So that's right here. So it was, Jesus, 35.3. So that's kind of what I'd be thinking my target is somewhere in that range if you were in it. It's going to be funny if it runs in a straight line to that freaking spot. It's already down to 37.5. So it only needs 2 more points and it's there. Well, Jeffrey, I don't know the answer to that. What I will tell you this. When I started thinking about trading the NQ, okay, I said to myself, there's just got to be a reason why sometimes these NQ trades work real smooth and sometimes they don't. And, you know, there's always been a correlation in most cases, if all the equities are south, then that's a correlation. If all the equities are north, that's a correlation. It's very odd to see the YM way up and everybody else down. So I've always kind of paid attention to that. But sitting here and staring at all these charts, it just all started clicking that, wait a second, all these candles in the ES are exactly the same as they are in the NQ. And then I just started, then I just, here it goes. Should go down to 35.3 is what I'm thinking. Jesus. So what I realized is that, and this is true just with the NQ, not with anybody else. I traded everybody else independently for all these years because they're easier to manage. It's easier to manage an ES trade. It's easier to manage a YM trade. It's easier to manage an RTY trade than it is to manage an NQ trade because NQ is just a wild beast. And so it was when I started focusing on looking at the ES in correlation with the NQ, because I've never been an NQ trader. And when I started seeing the correlation between if the ES is an open space and the NQ is at support, I need to stay away from it. All of a sudden, my win percentage changed. My confidence in the NQ grew. And now I trade NQ a lot more often than I ever did before. Because I don't focus on the whipsaw of the NQ anymore. Because as long as the ES is agreeing with what the hell I'm doing in the NQ, hey, because the ES is the big dog. There's two big dogs on this chart, the ES and the YM. Those are the two that, that's where the money is. The money is in those two markets. The NQ is just a wild beast that kind of runs around with them. Look at that. There it goes. It's almost there. Or did it is there. That's what it was. That's what I said right there. Be interesting to see if it stops right in this area and goes back up. Be interesting to see. Right now it's through it. Wow. Right now it's through it. And here's the funny part. So right now the RTY and the YM are not agreeing with each other. Because here's the YM. The whole time this RTY has been running down to that prior day low area. This is just sitting there. That's crazy. What you got to do is you've got to put sugar kryptonite. You got to create a data series down here and have your chart, have your lines created off this data series up here. I think. Wait. No, that won't do it either. Fuck, I don't know now that I think about it. I don't actually know. That's a good question. Actually, that won't work either. Because as soon as I change this data series, it's not going to work either. Man, I don't know. And I don't trade micros, so I don't know. But I do know your lines will not match. Your lines are not going to match. I don't know. Maybe Atua knows. Atua, do you know the answer to that question? Of course, we're trying to trade right now, so I don't want to distract him. I mean, Atua prints money every day, so I don't want to distract him right this minute. To answer your question, I do not know. because in the separate data series, I can't change the instrument, I don't think. Let me see. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can create a different data series. Yeah, I can, because watch, I could add CL here, and it can create another data series down below. So what you got to do is create another data series down below with your mini, and then have it feed the data above to your micro. Yeah, you can do that. Duh. I had to think about that. I don't understand the question, Charles. I don't use a DOM. Yeah, so just create a different data series off the mini instrument below, and then have it feed up. And you can put multiple data series down below. So like if you need a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart of the mini, you can do that. I've never had to do that. I don't trade micros, but I get it now. All right, so let me try to find something. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. Yeah, I finally figured it out. I'm brain dead. I'm trying to look at the charts and stuff like that. So if I can just hit one more decent trade myself for the day, I'm going to have a really good day. That's kind of what I need to figure out here. Oil might be taking a rejection off the top of the box here. Back to the high. They came and tested the red line right here, ran it up, created space. And I'm in my mind, I'm kind of like, well, now they're testing the top of the box. Red line here, top of the box here. Man, I'm not very liking it that much, but because gold is running. Gold is running. Look at gold. So gold is off and running to the long side. That's usually not a good sign for oil. Lately. I'm going to stay away from that for now. Oh, shit, I don't even have NQ up, guys. I knew there was something wrong. Damn it. Yeah, there it is. Rejection off the bottom of the box. I knew there was something wrong. I'm like, where's my NQ chart? I've lost it. I kept looking around for my NQ chart. I kept going, where the hell is my NQ? I had 2 RTY charts up. Fuck. What a nightmare. Yeah, I had 2 RTY charts up. I'm going, where is my NQ chart? I can't see the NQ. I'm looking at the ES. I'm going, okay, the ES is going down. Where's my NQ chart? That's funny. You guys, you go back and look at the video for the last like 30 seconds. I've been sitting there doing this. That's exactly what I've been doing, is looking for my damn NQ chart. Where the hell is my NQ chart? Where's my NQ chart? I don't know. Where's my NQ chart? Oh my God. I think the YM's about to cross the box, man. And it did the setup too, which is freaking scary. It did the actual setup. It did the actual setup. If it crosses that box, I'm going to literally sit here and go, what the hell? So look at it. So it came, I'm just pointing it out in case it formulates. It's outside the box, came inside, literally ticked through it right here by one tick, and then boom. So the philosophy is it should go to here. It may take it an hour. It may take it an hour to do it, but that's what the philosophy is. Yeah, it may take it an hour to do it. And the other thing that's pretty cool now is, in defense of that trade, in defense of this trade, you now have the prior day low that's going to continue to push price up. All right, I got to catch something here. Let me just keep my eyes open. Yeah, so's the NQ at the same time, Jim. Jim, I hit an 8.5 pointer in ES today. You'd be proud of me. 8.5 pointer. 8.5 pointer off the prior day open in the ES, in the damn ES. Boy, they've just gone to sleep again. That's it. Yeah, it's stress-free trade too, man. It was just off and gone. All right, let's look at this NQ here. All right, go. 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 Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Come on. Just go. Just go. Don't run out of gas, you piece of shit. You did. You ran out of gas. Jesus. Ran out of gas. Ran out of gas. Ran out of gas. That was a beautiful setup. That was a beautiful setup. Absolutely gorgeous setup. had a lower high than this one. At the same time, the ES collapsed. I mean, the same time. See the correlation? That made me comfortable to take that trade. But I'm not going to let it reject back up because that's where it really wants to go. So I squeeze my stop. There I am. And I only say that because the other three markets are now rolling up, or the other two markets, sorry. RTY and YM are rolling up. I really think the YM did its setup to cross the box, which is very frustrating because it's probably going to do it in the next 30 minutes. And I just sat here and said, holy shit, there it goes. Yeah, I was trying to make bigger money than that, Jim. I was trying to make bigger money. But that's okay. I was on the right side of the trade. That's what matters. I had no stress. If you guys noticed, from the moment I entered, look at the candle. This is what my strategy seeks is the next creation of that type of a candle. The next creation of that type of a candle. That's the whole goal of what I sit here and stare at these charts for, is to recognize the next creation of that type of a candle. And it all depends on how price gets to an area. If it meanders, I'm not interested. If it runs like this, then I'm interested. If it happens to correlate, for example, with the NQ and the ES, which, I mean, they both literally were bouncing off the same freaking line at the same time. That's amazing right there. They don't always do that. They may have different support/resistance areas that they're hitting at the same time, but they don't always hit the same line at the same time. That's a really good sign. Anyways, it's all good. God, look at that. So as I pointed out on this YM, see what I said? Shapoom, shapoom. So it's crossing. It's doing exactly that. It's crossing this box. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes it. At this point, the entry is here. The entry is here. The big green candle. That's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 minutes. So far, it's been cooking for 16 minutes. So far, it's been cooking for 16 minutes. And there goes the rejection the other way on the NQ. This is exactly why when this thing slammed down about $500, I have my stop here, because if it recoils, it's over. The sharks are either going to hold it down or they're going to roll their positions out. And once they step out of the tank, then it's over. Frustrating, because pattern-wise, we came from a new low. It should have come down further. It should have come down, somewhere in here. But when a big finger like that recoils, watch this. That's a sign that this right here now is going to become your new pivot low. So you're going to have so follow me. I want everybody to understand this. Here's your low to here. When you have a big candle like that recoil like it did on us, this is most likely going to become your new low. And if this is your low and this is your new low, then then the market's going long. That's it. And therefore, you don't need to get stuck in a loss. You don't need to sit up here and defend this trade anymore, because a big hammer candle like that, it's over. This is going to be your new pivot low. This was your previous pivot low. Here's your new pivot low, and here's your rotation back up. You know why that is, Jim? Because because the one thing about the NQ is it really does follow price action. It is a vicious instrument within each candle, and it plays dirty dog shit, but my golly, it really does follow price action. So many times, for example, you'll see the NQ like clip, say, this pivot, right? This is a down pivot here. Clip it by one tick over here, then come back. And it's like, Katie, bar the door because we're going long. We just need to find support. I mean, NQ is just really good at that. I mean, it is really good at that. The frustrating trade was this one off the prior day low. God dang, what a beauty. You could see the sharks entered the tank. They slammed it through, brought it up, and then wham. So just to kind of correlate what I was talking about. So take this. Let me get that damn thing off here. Hold on here. All right, there. Jesus. See how this ran up and created this pivot, our down pivot. I call them a down pivot because it's coming from the top. It's where price rotates back down. So this is where you created your down pivot. We rolled up. This did not break that and then rolled over. Your longs are over now. It's just subtle stuff like that. It's just subtle stuff like that. And when you start seeing those subtle things on these swings, you'll get an idea what the hell's going on. Beth, I'm too old to learn new things. What I do know how to do is read these candles. That's what I do know how to do. At this time of day, yeah, I would say probably patch. But I'm a bigger proponent. So I'm a bigger proponent in the red line later in the day than I am right now. And I will tell you this. So let's go back to that. Let's go back to your question, Patch. If I look at this in conjunction with this, then no, it's not valid because the ES has no resistance. So for this to fight its way down, this should agree with it. And this had blown through all its resistance and now had support, the support being the prior day open. So these two are disagreeing with each other. Am I making sense? And hence, when this blew up, this blew up. That's where you get into the scenario of looking at your ES in conjunction with your NQ. It'll keep you out of bad trades at a higher likelihood of keeping you out of bad trades. Yeah, Jim just put it. The prior day open is pushing ES long. It's going to be hard for the NQ to come down now that the ES has gotten on top of the prior day open, and it's pushing it from right there at that point. It's going to be very hard for it. Just like right now, it's going to be kind of hard for the ES to go long because the NQ ran into the prior day low. And see that? Just there you go. Which is exactly why in the ES trade I took earlier today that I got 8.5 points on, when this thing ran into here, that's when I closed out my ES trade. My ES trade had not hit my target, but when this thing ran into here, I'm like, okay, because this is going to reject, and then I'm in trouble. Sorry about that. Let's see here. It just, if you start seeing correlations like I'm talking about, it'll help reduce the number of times you get punched in the face. Do I still get punched in the face? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I reduce the number of times because I'm looking at the situation we're talking about. So we have so just kind of pull these two next to each other. Okay. So the ES is trying to hold long because of the prior day open. The NQ is trying to go short because of the prior day low. So there's just no trade on either one of these instruments until one wins the battle. And then we go with that trade. Because there's no room in being right while they're battling back and forth. I think, let me go back over to the CL for a second here. They are struggling to get that CL inside that box, Ian. They are struggling. I mean, they are struggling. But the interesting part is there's no conviction, even when they hold it north of the box, there's no conviction to run it up. So I do believe they will run it inside the box here probably and then crash it through. I mean, because there's just no conviction to keep it north. I mean, so what Ian's talking about is right here. So you got this, your pivot, your down pivot, your new down pivot, your new down pivot. And we're in the possibility of creating another one here. This is the top of the box. So there's battles to keep price above the top of the box. When the reality of it is we haven't crossed the box yet. So I think the Sharks, this is my opinion, I think the Sharks will take control of this ultimately, run it through, bring it up, and then cross that box. That's my opinion. Right now, there's no sense in keep taking the long off. See, I was looking at this one right here. But once it never cleared here, it's like, okay, forget it. Because there's no conviction to run it high right now. So what we want, what for any oil trade for me right now, it would have to go inside that box, create space, hit the bottom of that box, and then cross over it. That's what I think they're going to do if the Sharks decide to take control of oil. Thank you, Ian. See, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Yeah, there's no conviction There's conviction to hold it north, but there's no conviction to follow it through. So it's like, why take the trade? If there's no money to be made, why take the trade? Man, I should have been looking at that trade right there. All right, let's see here. We got to get they got to do something. They're all just kind of lagging around. Man, that prior day low really held for NQ. I got to admit that. Dennis, what do you want? Sorry. Wow. All right. Well, they finally ran gold oil up. All right. Maybe it might actually start moving. Oil's finally breaking its pivots to the left, its down pivots. So let me just show you that. It finally is showing, okay, maybe we should go long. Jesus, do something. All right, I'm waiting. Now, pattern-wise, there's potentially a trade right here to the long side. The problem is the ES is out in the middle, freaking nowhere. It's in La La Land, in space. Remember the scenario I showed you guys earlier, just for conversational purposes. Remember this scenario I showed you when I said this was the down pivot here. We rotated, came back up, and we never pierced that down pivot. I said, that's the end of it. Well, there you go. That's the end of it. That was the end of it. And those little subtle things will show you the direction of the market. And once you start seeing them and recognizing them, it makes it a lot easier to stay on the right side of the trades. Good job, Pooner. Excellent. Yeah, the RTY ended up being probably the gem of the day. The RTY probably was the gem of the day for trading, honestly. It has twice hit the prior day low and rotated 2 times in a row. Good job, Jim. Oh my God. Well, the ES just busted off the prior day low. Come on, somebody do something. So unfortunately, oil never gave any entry. It just broke on through and kept going. It never gave us a sign by doing the pivots and then rotating. So oil never gave me anything. And I'm not going to gamble. I'm not going to gamble to make that money. I needed to break a pivot, pull back, give me a resistance / support line, and then go. Thank you, Patch. Wow. The ES is just tanking. All off the prior day low. Insane. Get that NQ prior day low trade. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Well, who won that battle was the NQ won that battle, not the ES. The NQ won that battle to the downside. It dragged the ES that was out in open space down. So see the correlation, what I'm talking about, the correlation of the candles. Got your green one right here. You got your green one right here. You had a little green one right here because we hit the prior day low. So it's an anomaly in the move, but the move was still to the downside. If the two of them would agree with each other, make a good trade like they did earlier, like the trade I took earlier, this one right here. They both agreed to the downside. They both agreed at the same time to the downside. There's a W setting up in the YM. Problem is it's counter trend. It's a W off the prior day low. And there it goes. Wow, the market's just crashing. What the hell? I mean, we're through all our static lines, everything. Here's the W pattern. So you had your run down to support, your push up. Here's your pivot. Nice deliberate push up right there. And then you had your run back down to support. You have this low. And then you have a higher low off the support. So pattern wise, this should run to here. The problem is the other three instruments are crashing at the same time. And therefore, that's why I didn't take it. You have three markets, ES, RTY, and NQ crashing. This is a gorgeous W pattern to the long side. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. But I can't take it because everything disagrees with what's going on. Everything else. That is an absolutely gorgeous setup. And it's still fighting. They're trying to hold it. There it goes. There it goes. It might go now. It might go now. It might go now. See the YM, and here's the funny part. So look at the RTY. For the YM to have this trade work, it has to drag the RTY with it. So see, they're battling. This is trying to go back down. This is trying to go up. It's frustrating. Things are not agreeing. Absolutely beautiful setup. And all you got to do, guys, and I know I'm blabbing a lot today, but I've made my money, so let me just talk. All you got to do is hit one of these when things correlate. You hit one of these a week, and that's probably about $800 with 2 contracts, and you're done. But I'm not going to take it when it completely disagrees with everything else. And you could see they're trying to hold it. The market makers are trying to hold the YM long of the prior day low. What a beautiful setup. If I'm just telling you right now, for those of you who've watched the channel, you know, if the RTY was in a long position, these YM candles would have been big, just like this. Ding, ding, ding. Sat on top of the 9 EMA and then rotated up to here. That's how the pattern would have been. But you're asking for it to swim upstream because the sentiment is so far down in the market right now. I'll be right back. Okay, what do we got here? Well, looks like the NQ's reversing. Oh boy. Yeah, the NQ's starting to reverse right here. That's what's behind the scenes here. Sorry. The NQ's reversing. See, now this is the Dow. You got to remember, guys, this is the Dow. And the Dow is trying to hold. It's a psychological level. You're trying to hold the low of yesterday. So they're trying not to make this, you know, think about daily candles. That's exactly what you got to think about. Think about daily candles. They're trying to keep price back inside the bottom of yesterday's candle. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, and that's what this battle is right here. And the YM has been known, because it is a big dog, it has been known to make the rest of the market move with it. And you can see right here, this is a battle. If like I said, if the RTY had agreed with me, I'd have been all over this like white on rice for about $800. Because I know that battle is about to happen. And with the money that the Dow has in it, that battle usually is pretty easy to win. But not when you got 3 against 1. And that's what we're dealing with right now, 3 against 1. Now the NQ's rotated up. The ES rotated up. The RTY is starting to rotate up. So this pattern's probably still going to work. It's just I don't have an entry spot. Like I don't have an entry spot. And I don't have a place that I want to enter it now. But this is but this is, excuse me. This is an example, though, of me talking about screen time, where you start recognizing situations and how things play out. That's why when I use the term rinse, wash, repeat, it's because of years of staring at these charts and recognizing when we're in a rinse, wash, repeat situation. They are fighting this hard. The Dow is fighting this hard. Remember, they're still trying to cross the box from here. Remember that. From almost an hour ago. You have that in your favor also. They're still trying to cross the box. I mean, the Dow is strong. It is strong. I have sat here in these live streams and seen the Dow going long and, you know, the ES and the NQ going down. And then 30 minutes later, they're all going up because, you know, the big dog is going this way. So we're going to go with it. They ultimately give up in a lot of cases. Look at this. So there it goes. So what it should do is rotate through and break this pivot, then come and sit on top of the 9 EMA and then roll up. That's what it should do. And it's all predicated off the fact that this low right here is lower than this low. That's what it's all based off of. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. Yep. It's dragging the whole market with it. It got to its prior day low and it says, guys, we're going long. Get on the train or get the hell out of here. That's the power of the Dow right there. The Dow drew a line in the sand and said, we're not going down. And you're seeing it happen right here. And I told you about it right here. Oh my God. Funny shit, isn't it? That is some funny shit right there. Anyways. I've told you guys before, so a lot of times when I'm trading, I start laughing, especially when I'm not doing the live stream. And I'm laughing because of this. I know exactly what's going on. You just got to sit there and go with it. So here's the other interesting thing. So now the ES is above the prior day low. Okay. So now the ES hopefully will make this a line in the sand for it. Because remember, that's the S&P 500. So now you've got the Dow holding yesterday's low. And so who should start agreeing with them now is the ES should start holding yesterday's low. And if they do, then the market will cycle long. It's cool. It's fun to watch when it happens. Now, when the Dow, so going back to this again, when the Dow doesn't have to fight this battle, and you guys have seen this before on the live streams, when the Dow doesn't have to fight this battle that's going on with the ES, the NQ, and the RTY, this pattern normally goes bing, 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 bing. And your $800 is in your pocket in about 3 minutes. In about 3 minutes. Bing, 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 bing. And that's about a 3-minute trade. I can't, I'm not going to take it when it's fighting the rest of the market, Bill. There's plenty of days that it's not fighting the rest of the market, and I can take that trade and make $800 in 3 minutes. Right now, the Dow is just fighting. Man, this battle is getting freaking ugly. Man, this battle's getting ugly. All right, so if this candle right here gets broken through the top, and then you finally would be able to put your stop here. That's if. It's got to break through the top of that candle first. This, oh my God. So still not yet. So still your defense is way to hell down here. This is just a freaking vicious day. I don't like when the equities disagree with each other. Makes it very tough. So now when it breaks this top, that can be where you put your stop. It's got to break it though. Jesus. Come on. Come on, YM. Push up. Come on. Come on, Dow. Push up. Big money. Big money. Time for big money to enter the market right here. Big money. Time for big money to enter the market. Okay. So now you finally, after how many minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes. You can put your freaking stop here. Holy pachikas. Man, that's freaking ugly. That is just ugly. And what you're hoping for is that your new down pivot is higher than your last down pivot. So you're hoping for a continuation of price to the long side off your new pivot. And to be honest with you, it's looking really freaking ugly. Uh-oh. What's that? Come on. Whoa. Did somebody candles start getting real herky-jerky? I think there's freaking war news. And see, this is why, again, with the war going on, If your pattern takes a long time, you could be in the middle of a trade. All of a sudden, somebody says something and your whole freaking pattern gets screwed up. And bam, you're out. Jesus. Wow. Yeah, it's been doing that recovery of the wick. It's been doing that. Well, this is a red line, actually. Recovery of the wick. This CL trade is actually a red line. It's not a top of the box. That's a classic red line trade right there. Absolutely classic red line trade. Should go all the way to the high. So here's your create your daily high, straight to your red line. Boom. That should be your trade. Now that oil started moving, that should have been your trade, that red line trade. Oh, yeah, free pointed that out. Sorry. I wasn't reading the chats. Sorry. So when it the gym, when it breaks this, that is a bullish sign. So, I mean, it could seriously come back down here to the prior day low and create an even higher pivot than this one and push it back up again. The key is that it broke a pivot here, which is nice. So it's got to defend. So with the YM, you got to defend the down pivots. I mean, the up pivots. These are up pivots. You got to defend the up pivots because you broke the down pivots. See that? So now you got to defend the up pivots for a rotation back to the long side. The hell was that? Jesus. All right, so now it hit. So the question is it going to defend? Is it going to hold north of this? If it doesn't, that's a really bad sign. Oh, it's whew, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Look at that. Not good. Well, here's the problem with it being a W. Somebody wrote W in the NQ. It may W, but I don't have support that it W'd off of. See, that's the difference between the YM, wherever the hell it is now. Where's my YM chart? The YM is off the prior day low. That's the W. Boom, 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 boom. This is not off. This is just space. This is just random space out in the middle of nowhere. Keep in mind, you're still in a down push from the 5-minute gold line. Are you still in it, recovery of the wick? Hopefully it goes to that 102.18 area. That's a good one, recovery of the wick. Well, hopefully that red line gets you to target. Hopefully, at least you got a pivot to defend now. Recovery of the wick is in this red line trade in oil. So he should be defending this pivot right here now because he crossed over, got on top of the 9 EMA, and it should push him back up, and target should be up in this area. Because the intent of the red line is to go from a high to here, back to the high. And the 9 EMA becomes your friend because you pushed through it and sat on top of it. So it should be pushing price, helping you push price, I should say. And yeah, the NQ blew up here. But anyways, the gym, do you understand what I'm saying? Because you got to remember this is a 5-minute gold line trade, pushing price down. You got to have support to push you back up for a W pattern. You can't just be doing it off of space. And the current low and the current day's low and the prior day's high are not static lines. They're just points of reference. At the end of the day, they become the static lines for tomorrow. But they aren't static lines as of today. Fucking A. What am I missing? Oh, I'm still missing my YM chart. Where the hell is it? Jesus. Oh boy, it held. Man, they are just, even though it blew through there, they let it blow through and then they flinged it back up. They are truly fighting tooth and nail to keep the Dow above yesterday's low. You see that? There's a lot of money pushing this thing back up. That's interesting. There is a lot of money doing that. They just have to go into, they have to have a long leg. You know, they have to have, which by the way, this is a long leg. They have to have a long leg. They have to have a deliberate roll up and a deliberate roll down. But the key is that the roll up and the roll down need to be from some kind of support. Could be a 5-minute red line, could be a static line, you know, could be the 5-minute gold line. But it has to have a support mechanism to throw it back up. And this one didn't have one. There's no support here. If you just start taking them everywhere, you're going to see W's and M's in your sleep. We've got a few people in here that still do. Jim, one of the Jims in California, not Jim Racine, but the other one, he sees M's and W's everywhere. I'm like, dude, they're not everywhere. Recovery of the wick. Did you close it out? It short ran the target. So here's the oil trade that he was in. Bing, came up, sat on here, came up, created another pivot. So his stop should have been here. Again, his target was up here. It front run that target by 3 freaking ticks. It may recoil up. I don't know. But that's a pretty good trade. You're sitting here at 61. Oh shit, yeah. That's over $500. Yeah, because I made my money already, lunatic. So I'm just sitting here talking. Now, I just, I made my money in the pre-market. So I'm just sitting here talking. Unless something literally punches me in the face, I wasn't going to take a trade. That W pattern in the YM would have been what punched me in the face if the market was long, because that was those are the setups you pray about. Otherwise, and here's the thing, and go back to that YM. I know I keep harping on this, but it is the Dow. You got to remember that, folks. This is the Dow. I mean, the Dow. They are doing everything to keep this thing up. And if this thing can start breaking this way, it's going to drag the rest of these instruments up. But right now, the freaking NQ just keeps going down. Jesus. It hit target. Recovery of the wick. Did you get your target? It hit target. There it is. That's your target right there. So it did it. So once again, the red line does what it's supposed to. Deliberate pull, red line, back to the high. There it is. I mean, that's rinse, wash, repeat. That's a beautiful setup. 5-minute red line. Good morning, Patriot. So recovery of the wick probably made about, $550 on that or something like that. Was it $1,000 trade? I mean, 2 contracts, it would have been $1,000 for sure. Close it down, Wayne. Close it down. You're on a roll lately, Wayne. You're on a roll. You got money coming to you. You're passing evals. You're on a roll, man. You really are. You're on a roll. You really are. You're on fire lately. Shit. You are on fire, Wayne. You are literally on fire. Shit. Still defending this candle right here. Still defending that candle right there to cross the box. That's freaking scary, man. That is scary. I'm going to come back here in about an hour and look, and that damn thing's going to have crossed the box. And so back on that CL trade, just for conversational purposes, notice once the target was hit, it went through it by a tick and then it rolled over. I mean, when you get a rotation from a recent high and or the current day high, or a recent low or a current day low, and it deliberately goes to that red line, you play it back to that exact spot, because that is exactly what the traders. How do you know that's the spot? Because of this. How do you know this is the spot? Because of this. It's just rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. Yeah, because the NQ can. I mean, well, you already know this, Wayne, but the NQ can freaking. I doubt Lindsay's still on here. Lindsay, are you still here? if you are, that'd be great because I want you to say something if you're here so that everybody can hear what Lindsay says. This is your lesson for the day, so it's not just me talking if she comes on. I prefer her to tell you instead of me. I would prefer Lindsay to tell you what I'm about to say if she doesn't come on. I think she's already gone. She probably is. All right, so Lindsay had a payout. You guys all saw it last week. She had a payout of $11,600 from Prop Firm. And Lindsay came and started watching my stuff, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago or so, studied it, analyzed it, took it to heart, blah, blah, blah. She ended up getting payouts at Lucid, and then she turned around to Tradeify and bought 4 accounts. And now she's got those things fully funded and she's getting payouts. Anyways, so I said to Lindsay, I said, what was your aha moment? What made you successful today? And she said something along these lines. She said she says she trades the NQ. She said, so take this trade right here. All right, 5-minute gold line. She said when she gets in it, it either goes or she kills the trade. And so think about that. This is a 5-minute gold line right here. When you're in this one, it went. There you go. So if it does not, she says it either goes, and if it doesn't go, I get out. And she says, and I just wait for another. So she doesn't even let the thing recoil and take her out. She's just in. It either goes or it doesn't. And if it goes, she lets it go to target. And this one right here was that's probably $1,000 right there. That one trade. That's probably $1,000. And what did it do? From the moment it rejected, it went. So she doesn't mind that she gets out of a trade that she's got either $20 profit or $50 loss. She doesn't mind if she gets out and then the thing does go, because she just wants to get in, because she knows that the whole purpose of what she's doing is to identify the big red candle. Identify the big red candle. Off the prior day low, off the 5-minute gold line. Look at those 2 big red candles. That's 2 in a row that you could have made $1,000 off of. And if it doesn't immediately go, get the hell out. That's how she trades it. And I was like, well, that's really cool. The main point of me telling you this is because if you actually take that approach, it's pretty damn hard to blow up an eval. It's pretty damn hard to blow up a funded account. It's pretty damn hard. It's pretty damn hard. If your approach is it either goes or, like the one I took. The one I took right here. It went. Boom, it was gone. I mean, from the moment I got in it, it was gone. That's what she looks for. If it doesn't immediately go, she gets the hell out. And she got paid, 2 to 3 months later after following me and getting it. She's had multiple payouts from Lucid, and then from Tradeify, she got paid $11,600 last week. And she showed the receipts. I put them up on the screen. And that's what she does. NQ, It either goes or she's out. And look at the three that happened today. This one went immediately. You guys saw it. I did it live. This one went. This one went. And they're all off the strategy that I freaking sit here and have freaking preached to you guys till I'm blue in the face. Matter of fact, this one even worked right here. And if you take the approach that it either goes or you're out, you're probably more aggressive about taking some of these things because you don't give a fuck. You're only going to risk, a little bit of money. Either goes or it doesn't. That's exactly right, Carlos. She doesn't that's what she told me. She says it either goes. I mean, it doesn't have to take off, but it can't be, it's just got to kind of keep, or she's out. And you had 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them today. Straight off of stuff that I've taught you guys. I don't know. I didn't ask that lunatic. I'm going to actually interview her, but I don't know. I just know what she told me about that. And it made a lot of sense because she's like, I don't want to blow up any of these accounts. That's a good idea, Gene. Yeah, there you go. Gene doesn't care if he gets stopped out. That's the point. He isn't losing much money. You get one, like the ES trade I took today. You get one trade that gets you 8 points and you're risking, say, 1.25 points. You only need one. You only need it to take off once out of every 4. And you're making tons of money. She trades only the NQ, yeah. She trades only the NQ. She looks at the ES, like I've taught her, to see correlation, and she trades the NQ. And I mean, if you look at these NQ trades today, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Of course, the one that I took didn't actually fucking follow through. The others did. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. The one I took didn't follow through. I know you guys should be surprised by that. I know. The one I took, the 1 out of 4, didn't follow through. You guys should know that. I'm a walking cancer. I'm a walking cancer. That's right. One winner cancels out a whole bunch of losers, and then you get paid $11,600. She was in here earlier this morning, but yeah, she's probably at work now. Because in her free time, she's a doctor. in her free time, she's a doctor. Yeah, her winning percentage is low because it either freaking goes or it doesn't. And if you think about it, if this is $1,000 trade, it either goes or it doesn't. This is easily $1,000 trade right back to here. This is $1,000 trade back down to here. This went down about $700 before it recoiled. So that's her approach. And I think it's great. So what she did is she just took my strategy and kind of adapted it to her personality. She doesn't want to take a loss of big money. She doesn't want to risk things. Jim's taken my approach. Jim Racine in California, he's taken my approach, and he doesn't mind taking $1,000 loss. So he doesn't mind getting in and defending the candle and letting it go to target. Okay, so it's two different approaches to how you do this. that fit your personality, fit your mental risk tolerance of trading. Yeah. So if she's in here tomorrow morning, I'll get her to I'll get her to chat a little. She was in here this morning, but like I said, she's probably at work now. Tonight she'll watch this video and she'll be like, "Oh, they all talked about me." I can just tell you right now, that's what's going to happen. Tonight she's going to watch the rest of this video and she's going to say that. "Oh, they all talked about me." Anyways, but once you get those payouts that are like 10, that are 5-figure payouts, man, it's like, that's a whole change. Things change. And she's only trading 4 accounts. 4 accounts. And she got 11 grand last week or the week before, whatever it was. I don't know what she got last week. Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, I don't even know. Do I have a date of the video that goes through the NQ and ES setup? You mean that she was talking? Because I don't have it. I don't have an actual video of her. Sorry. Right, exactly. Panda Trades. If the sharks are in the tank, just keep this in mind. That's her whole thought process. Her whole thought process. I'm not making hers right and Jim Racine's wrong, or Jim Racine's right and hers wrong. What I'm saying is, she anticipates the sharks to enter the tank. So if the sharks enter the tank, they put her in profit and she can defend her position. If they don't enter the tank, she doesn't want to linger around and find out why. How about that? It wasn't last week, it was the week before. Yeah. So I don't know how much she got last week. If she did, I don't know. She also was traveling last week. She does work. She has a full-time job. She's a doctor. She's got shit to do. But I mean, look at Orville. He's a police officer and he's trading on his freaking phone. And by the way, he's trading the NQ also. Anyways, I'm going to let everybody go. Like I said, if Lindsay's in here tomorrow, I'll get her to talk. Tomorrow's going to be my last day live streaming this week. I am going to be out of town Thursday, Friday, Monday, and possibly Tuesday. I'm definitely out of town Thursday, Friday, and Monday, but probably Tuesday also. What indicator, Jose? If you want my indicators, like the labeled lines or the box, or my timer, there's an email in the description of the video. Just email me and ask for them. Okay? Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.